Shift 1 and Shift 1, 2, 3 are the keyboard shortcuts for the Tech 3 destroyers.
But he fit a small shields extender, which is really bad.
Yeah, small.
I'm not making fun of
small
him.
boys.
I'm just trying to help everyone else watching. You generally don't want to fit anything shields hardener wise that has small in it. Like a small rep is pretty bad. Small shield booster is awful. Small shield extender also terrible.
The small ancillary is so bad.
Yeah.
All the ancillaries rep at such a small amount comparatively to the extra large. Like you go from large to extra large, and there's just a huge jump. Yeah,
the extra large really is useful. Though if you want to do mediums and be like really gimmicky, you can fit 4 on many EAFs. So you can just have a quad ASB Kitsune, which is pretty dope.
That's pretty.
It does 40 DPS, but it can tank for days.
What kind of implants, links, boost are you using? I'm trying to get into PvP. The fit I'm using I actually stole from Sardcade. It is a 10. Oh, that's not my fitting button. That is my map button. But yeah, the fitting is a dual Metaspaces Tech 2 ancillary current router, dual light beams, tenon and afterburner, scram and warp disruptor. With the warp disruptor, I can kite at range, and then anything that close using an NWD, I can use the scrambler, overheated scram, to kind of maintain range. The boost we weren't going to bring, but they just happen to be sitting there. They're actually Tengu boost meant for our Orthoris roams, so it's not that great for what we're doing.
Yeah, but generally speaking, like if you're going to just be flying a frigate or a destroyer or even a cruiser around, I think half the people you'll find in low sec probably have links, and the other half don't. And you don't need any fancy implants. I think you can just get away with, if you really want, 3% hardwirings are pretty good. They give you a nice little edge. And just remember to always overheat your stuff. Like, overheating does an amazing amount of damage, especially in one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, right. I mean, just little, like, just running a skirmish bonus assault will make a huge difference just because of the speed increase and the range for your tackling modules. That's if you are able, or if you want to run links. You can PvP without links. It's not required. Yeah, like Thecla said, if you're just learning PvP, don't roll with any implants, buddy. Take a little frigate out, a couple million-esque, and just as you learn the basics, you can slowly upgrade to more and more expensive things. But even right now, I'm trying to relearn how to fly my ships manually. And like key bindings are really important. If you have to click all of your modules, then you're gonna have a tough time. But key bindings make it really, really helpful. And if you're not running implants, you can basically die in your little 2 million-esque frigate, and then reship or get potted, and then instantly reship into a new ship and go back out and have another engagement. Ryan, it really depends on what race. I've been flying a lot of hull tank ships because of Glente. So that would be more of a buffer tank ship. And so, I mean, if you're flying Memitar, that's going to be different, or Kadari, it's different. I mean, Kadari has the options for ancillary shield boosters, which are really nice. So, I mean, it really depends on what race you want to fly. Like, if you're Glente, the hull tank Tristan or the hull tank Algos is really nice. Yeah, the kiting ships are actually really, really effective because a lot of the ships I fought in lowsec rely on getting on top of you to do DPS, which is mainly, there's a lot of blaster ships looking to get on top of you and kill you. Yeah, if you're asking about nullsec PvP, it is a completely different ballgame. Nullsec and lowsec cannot even be compared when it comes to PvP. It is completely separate entities. Yeah, nanosec. Everything in nullsec is basically revolving around a MWD and being able to counter frigates. Like if you're roaming in nullsec, you're as a solo or small scale like group. Your main goal is to be able to handle frigates first. If you can't kill frigates in nullsec, you're dead. Because there's so many interceptors and so many Tech 1 frigates that are able to get on, that will just swarm you and tackle you. If you cannot kill frigates in 2 to 3 volleys and clear them off the field, then you're going to die really, really fast to the bigger ships behind them. Yeah, in a sec. A lot of ships, they will either use webs to keep you at range in low sec, or they'll use a scram if you're like a blaster ship and your literally only goal is to overload MWD and get on top of something. They will use a scram to keep you at range because they'll probably have some sort of links or a bonus to scrambler range. So that they can sit outside of your web and scram range and just do damage to you while you flail and try to keep up with them with your close range ship, most likely. How can you tell if you're a solo ship fighting against a ship with links? Typically, their speed will be faster. Their E-War modules, like their web and scram, will be able to hit farther out. Like a overheated normal web like this. Well, actually, we're running links right now. So with links, 37k, 37k, and heat. I can point out 37k with this, which 12k right here. The link ship that Elise is using is a Tengu booster, which is designed for the Orthrus when we go roaming in nullsec. And which means it's going to have skirmish and siege bonuses. Skirmish and siege bonuses, which is the links that make you go faster, longer E-War, and then also increase shield tank. Yeah, then it depends on what implant you use as well. If you're running a faction implant, you can give bonuses to two separate links, or two different types of links. Do you guys enjoy low sec or null sec PvP more? It's different. I mean, if you're in nullsec's a lot more fun with a group of players. I've been having a lot of fun in low sec by myself because I literally just warp into frigates, like 2 to 3 frigates at a time, and just brawl until I die. And then I go and buy a new ship. Starting
really
FC,
fun.
and they told me FCing the CF like giving a bunch of tollers a bunch of knives, and you need to repeat what they have to do all the time. Else they do just lose interest and go do something else. That's pretty accurate. I mean, any type of FC, the hardest part of being an FC is being able to keep your fleet's attention, especially when you're sitting on Titan doing nothing and waiting. And that's the really big issue with being an FC, is just learning how to be that center of gravity for the fleet. You have to be the cult of personality, etc. And the scrambler would probably the scrambler is probably better anyways, because any interceptors that go on top of you will be able to turn off their MWD, which means they will have to notice and actually turn the MWD back on before they can actually start pursuing you again.
Which shockingly most people don't do.
Yeah, well, it's a delayed reaction as well. So I mean, I can fit a fleeting web as well, but just like I said, the ability to turn off a MWD and then wait for them to have to actually turn it back on is pretty good. If you were trying to get into the game, man, if you're trying to the game and really give it a good shot, you and your friends, depending on what you like to do, need to just go straight and do that. Don't like deviate. So if they like the PvP, then have them take you to fly with red versus blue for a few weeks and let you get your what is it? I'm trying to think of the analogy I was trying to use. Or get your beak wet. Tandem Ops preferred covert ops bomber. My preferred covert ops bomber, probably going to be the Hound, just because it's faster. Yeah, like just for what I use it for. The speed of the Hound and agility of the Hound is better. Yeah, but it all depends on what type of damage type you need to be doing. Yeah, the tech one for Tristan's actually pretty nice. These are the only Tech 2 mods I have, which for a new player you can use Tech 1. Everything else in the ship is Tech 1 named modules. See, it's using the Tech 2 drone amps. So what you could do is, where is the variations? So it takes 30 CPU for this, and then 30 for that, but I'm pretty sure that's lower. 1 second. Oh, wow. So T1 and T2 for some reason are the same? That's dumb. Alright, so yeah, this is a really tight fit then. Really tight fit. So you're going to be close to maxing this out, but you can drop a newt, and a newt will free up a little bit of space. 3 newts is a little bit overkill. So you should be okay with just 1, or not 1, 2. 2 will give you enough to cycle. Yeah. No, the three newts really hurt your cap, which is why I run the cap booster. You really need the cap booster for this. But the point is, though, once you cap out the other guy, you just turn him off. Because you're looking at where is it? Energy 51 drained, and like the capacitor is 438 on this thing. So, and most frigates are probably 400 to 700 cap, I think. Tech 1 frigates at least. So it's not too hard to cap out a frigate. Actually, I will use the damage control too, because damage control only takes hull upgrades, which hull upgrades 4, which should be like one of your first skills, because damage control 2 is just so valuable. Damage control 2, super valuable for new players out there. All right, guys. So the way you find these dudes for the interceptor stuff who don't know is you double click on top of them when they decloak, or you can just approach them. If you click them and approach them, and then as soon as they cloak, you have to spam max speed. You spam your max speed, and you will like almost always get them, depending on how competent they are with their line out point. So click them, approach them, and then spam max speed, and typically you will get them.